Hey friends, to celebrate Independence Day here in the US, come along with us to see the history we found of Lewis and Clark's journey on the Oregon coast. Hi, this is Scott from Scott and Tracy Traveling. Welcome to our channel, where our motto is, travel now, it may be later than you think. I was just finishing up the book Undaunted Courage by Stephen Ambrose when we stayed in Seaside, Oregon. This book details the momentous expedition of Lewis and Clark, who explored the newly acquired Louisiana Purchase and beyond. Seaside's Promenade has a nice monument celebrating the expedition's end of the trail. The monument is not only impressive, but also has images and information of their journey. The Corps of Discovery, as they were called, sheltered near here during the winter of 1805 and 1806. This was the second winter of their 28-month and approximately 8,000-mile journey. They wintered the previous year in current-day South Dakota. Scenes on the monument depict the expedition's experience like canoeing rivers and the interpreter's wife Sacagawea and her baby at the nearby Fort Clatsop. Then President Thomas Jefferson was a driving force in the creation of the expedition. The group carried a lot of trade items and mementos like the Peace and Friendship Medal. This image replicates an actual sketch of Clark's design of the nearby Fort Clatsop. And this panel shows the salt works they created here on the beach. This Lewis and Clark monument is a new addition to the Promenade, which is over 100 years old. The Promenade is a great walking path in front of the hotels and old homes. Although right next to the beach, there is a little brush between the walkway and the sand. About 3/4 of a mile down the promenade from the monument is a replica of Lewis and Clark's salt works. A group of the men from the expedition camped here instead of the inland fort to produce salt by boiling seawater. The salt was desperately needed for their return trip and to preserve meat because the usual smoked meats rotted too quickly in the damp conditions. Next, we drove the 15 miles from the salt works to the expedition's main winter quarters at Fort Clatsop in the Lewis and Clark's National Historical Park. This area has a museum, trails, and a replica of the fort based on the Clark sketch we saw on the monument. An informational display off the parking lot summarizes the expedition's journey and difficulties. Here is a map showing their incredibly long journey. The fort was named after the local tribe of natives who were very helpful during their stay. From the parking lot, we headed to the trails outside of the museum. There was a nice statue of Sacagawea and her baby. There were also a number of informational and interpretive signs along the trail. Of course, the highlight of the trail is the replica of the actual fort. The first replica was built in 1955, but was destroyed by fire in 2005. The current rebuilt structure was completed in 2006. According to documents, the fort was started in early December 1805 and was completed by the end of the month. The core remained here until March of 1806. Records show that the fort housed 32 men, 1 woman, and a baby. If you're returning to our channel, thank you for your continued support. If you're new to our channel, we're glad you found us. We are a retired couple who loves to travel and hope our videos will inspire others to travel the world. Any questions or comments are welcome. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up as it helps promote the video, and consider subscribing to our channel. We quickly peeked into all of the fort's rooms. There were mainly sleeping pallets and a few pieces of furniture. This is a copy of a document they posted at the fort when they left. The note states the names of the people in the party and their mission. Other areas of the trail system outside, including signs identifying the local plants and trees. There was also a trail leading to the expedition's canoe landing on what's now called the Lewis and Clark River. This map shows the long trail from the fort to the ocean. Then we entered the museum. The park does have a fee, but we have a lifetime senior pass for the national park sites. The first few panels covered the territory claims during the expedition's time frame and the key people involved in the Corps of Discovery. President Jefferson wanted to portray the expedition as a scientific research group to avoid antagonizing other European nations that had claims to territory through which the party traversed. The expedition did create bookloads of documentation and collected samples of nearly everything encountered along their journey. Still, the most impressive display was again a map of their incredible journey. The museum also had replicas of period food, clothing, and equipment. It also displays items they encountered when dealing with the native tribes. A fascinating display was a list of the individuals in the party, a few personal stories, and a roll call of the members that lists rank, dates of service in the expedition, what they were paid, any info of their lives post-trip, and any info of their deaths. Sorry for the wobbly filming. There was also a separate display on William Clark's slave named York, who was very helpful to the party and popular among the native tribes who had not seen a black man before. Here is an image of one of the journals they kept. And a peace and friendship medal, and I believe a tomahawk pipe. Also a representation of what Sacagawea may have worn. It was a great ending to our Lewis and Clark adventure. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to our future travels.